It's 11 o'clock, July 31st. We're going to do a 21-mile Fife Lake North Country Trail loop. We're parked off M186. We're going to head south towards the Manistee River on the Fife Lake Loop trail.
So we're doing the Fife Lake Loop trail. We're starting at the arrow. We're going to do this orange part today, and we might do a little further to the river. And then tomorrow is going to be the North Country back. So it's a 21-mile loop.
Fife Lake Loop Trail, here we come. It's going to be a nice, easy, relaxed hike. And it looks like it's going to be marked by red blazes. A few small ups and downs right at the start of this trail. It's going to be a warm one today. Already is warm. Passing our first small lake, which looks more like a pond right now, pretty dried up. Got to keep an eye out for the trail. There's a red marker. The trail's veering off. Easy to miss if you're not watching. Got a little bit of a road walk here. There's a lot of dirt roads crisscrossing across this path, but it's well marked so you can see which route to take. This trail passes some clear-cut areas, and we are walking through tick territory, but we're not sure if they're still out this time of year. Haven't seen any yet. There's a few large trees left along the trail. Not many. The sun is beating down on us in this little field area, but no bugs to speak of. A few gnats, that's about it. Trail goes straight as far as we can see at this point. We're crossing M113, the 3.1 mile mark. It's a warm one today. We are crossing some railroad tracks. Yeah. And it is hot out here in the sun. It's the first tick I've seen. I haven't been looking. Pretty swamp area. And no mosquitoes. That's a small 2 tracks we're walking down on this trail. You can see a lake back there, and it looks almost like we're on an old railroad bed. It's all built up, and back behind it it's all dug out. Well, it could be an ancient railroad grade. Frog in the middle of the trail. Crossing County Line Road. We're making progress in this heat. Stifling heat today. Pretty quiet. Have not seen any signs of any other people today. Not even footprints in the sand or anything. Here comes master hiker Rick. Got our first convenient water source along the trail, a small stream. There has been some swamp areas you could get water, but that would be the nicest one so far. Feels good to be back in the shade of the woods. We were kind of out in the open for a while there. But this is a pretty section with some very large white pines. This is the Walton Outlet Creek, which empties into the Manistee River just up ahead. A grove of hemlocks and cedars along the creek. There's a campsite down here. Saw some benches right on the creek. Let's see what it looks like. Got a fire pit and a couple benches right on the creek. Looks pretty nice. We're at the intersection of the North Country Trail and West Trail Terminus, North Dakota, 2,276 miles. So we're at about the halfway point of the North Country Trail. But we gotta go low this direction. Now we are on the North Country Trail off the Fife Lake Loop Trail. There's campsites up ahead. Nice campsite there. We've got the blue blazes now for the North Country Trail and another railroad crossing. There's the Manistee River. You look for a campsite along the river before the trail veers off from it. Nice view of the Manistee with the railroad bridge crossing. We're gonna have a few ups and downs on this bluff above the river. This is a beautiful section of the trail. Swamp down below and cedars and white pines lining the bank. We have reached river level. There's the Manistee You gotta go up this way. There's the campground. Delicate barking dogs. Here's the register and the water pump. We're reconnoitering in the campground to see what our next step is, see how far we want to go. We don't want to camp too close to 131, so we got to make a decision here. Got my hands tucked into my socks today for tick. What the ticks do is they crawl up your leg and they get caught up under this flap, so I just lifted up my flaps. I had 2 more down there. Always check under the flaps of your pants where they zip if you have them for ticks. That's probably the easiest pump I've ever used. Amazing. You don't even have to hardly move it to get water flowing. That felt good, washing up under that pump. Get all the sweat off. Outhouses were pretty nice, and we are leaving the campground at 4:20 after a nice long break. Back on the trail, we got 2,276 miles to North Dakota. There's the banks of the Manistee. Here's old US 131. Down that way is a dirt bike trail. Quite a ways up above the Muskegon River at this point, up on a ridge. First real switchbacks on the trail. There's 3 of them here to get back down to the river. And there's the trail down there. Hello up there. 4:45, we found a spot right on the river. So this is where we're gonna camp tonight. They got a fire pit, log to sit on, and a few mosquitoes, but not bad. Here's our camp down by the river. Pretty nice spot. And I'm going boring today. I bought a sandwich at the party store on the way here, so this is my dinner tonight. Luke's doing hot dogs tonight. He just carved his stick with his new Gerber knife. How did that Gerber knife work, Rick?
Good.
It's a nice overlook of the river. Advice from a river. Just hanging out at the overlook this evening. Nice bench to sit on. Watch the river. It's Thursday morning. No rain last night. How you feeling this morning, Rick?
Hi.
Hi, Rick. Rick just finished his breakfast and we're gonna hike out today. Can hear 131, but not too loud. And we did not have a fire last night. There's the Manistee this morning. Saw a couple of inner tubers going by last night. It's 8:20. We are on the trail, heading out. There's Ed's overlook this morning. That's where we hung out last night. Another overlook right near the other one. A lot of this path is very soft, padded with all the pine needles. Very easy on the feet. Close up of the Manistee. And a lot of mosquitoes buzzing around right here. This is US 131 bridge over the Manistee. A few fishermen out this morning on the river. There's the boat launch area. There's the rest area off 131. You got a pump at the rest area, see if anything comes out. Pretty good tasting water from the pump. Back on the trail, and we've got 2,274 miles to North Dakota. We're walking along Fife Creek now. It's down there. Pretty section of the trail. I think this is Smulligan Overlook. Rick, is that named after you?
Smulligan Wholesale Meats Overlook.
You can see glimpses of Fife Creek down there. We have left the Manistee. Here's my pack, pretty small for this trip, not much there. We're gonna take a little break. The air is so heavy. The air's not moving. Very humid and still. You have some pockets of large white pine along the Fife Creek. Here's the scenic spur trail. We're gonna check it out. Built by the Boy Scouts. There's Fife Lake Creek. First good view of it. Peaceful little creek. Very clean. They got the spur trail marked with white blazes. I'd recommend taking the short spur trail. Get a nice view of Fife Lake Creek. What do you think, Rick? Should we sign into the trail register?
Sure.
There it is. Can hardly go on a hike in Michigan without going through the red pine plantations. We're at number 4 road at mile 5. First sign of civilization on the trail. There's a house back there. We're coming up to County Line Road. Crossing County Line Road, back on the trail, back into the hot, humid, tropical jungle woods. We're back along Fife Lake Creek again. Yeah, a little painter turtle. Hey, quite a long stretch of terrain that looks like this going along Fife Lake Creek. There's a collapsing bridge with some sinkholes. Crossing Fife Lake Creek, and more of the same. The scenery here today is pretty consistent going along the creek. Nice spot for a little break. Take a snack, move on. I think we're getting near Quarterline Lake and Mud Lake. Yeah, real nice campsite here. This is the end of Quarterline Lake. Here's the bench at mile 8.2. This is a very scenic area. Some large white pines. Kayaker out there. Some people backwoods camping here. Quarter mile walking along this road. I think we turn off here. Right here, got to watch the marks close. Easy to miss some of these turns. Probably about a half a mile to 3/4 of a mile we have to hike down this 2-track. This is quite a long walk along this old 2-track, and the gnats are really bad in this section. You get out in the open a little bit. This is mile 9.8, Lakeshore Drive. We got 0.8 miles to the campground. We're gonna have some lunch. I'm really hungry, hot, and losing energy. This is a very easy section of the trail coming up to the campground. Very wide and cushioned. I made it to the campground. See a few campsites, one occupied so far. We're looking for the spigot. Maybe it's up this way towards the lake. Campground is about empty. There's Spring Lake over there. There's Spring Lake. And there's an outhouse, and we're hoping the spigot's up ahead. We found the pump at the campsite right by campsite 26. We're gonna have some lunch here. Not much for lunch today. Some pita bread and peanut butter, sausage sticks and protein bars, and I had some pudding. And that water felt wonderful. 1:40, we're leaving the campground after a nice lunch and rest, and we've got 2,265 miles to North Dakota and about 2.2 miles to our car. Another railroad crossing. Interesting spot on the trail. A few houses. Crossing back over 131. Had about 15 or 20 minutes of road walking on dirt roads out of the campground. Now we're back in the woods. We got about a mile left to go, and I think this is pretty much how the trail is going to look the rest of the way. A few log areas on this end of the trail. You got to be getting really close to the parking lot. These last couple miles are kind of just dragging on, just sweating up a storm, walking through a wall of humidity. 2:30, made it back to the car. It's still here. You did it, Rick. Good hike. Very hot, humid, but it was pretty. The section today was a lot prettier than yesterday. About 4 or 5 ticks on me, and a few mosquitoes and gnats, but other than that, pretty bug-free. Overall, very nice hike.